Hey, what's up? It's Alex. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything that you need to make a podcast all in one place. So download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Maybe everyone's settled their differences and I can finally go outside. All right, let's do it. Here we go. And I'll just get Instacart. Follow the affiliate link in the show notes below to create your account with Instacart today. Do all your shopping without leaving your house.
Coming to you live from my apartment, this is The Short News with Alex Mador.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the Short News Podcast. It is Monday, August 24th, 2020. And yeah, we're back. That was a fun episode on, what was that, Saturday? Yeah, that was cool. I was happy to open up to you guys about my life, and I think we're gonna do that more often. Like, it's fun to tell the stories and stupidity, in a humorous tone, I guess, but also telling them from the perspective of someone who is actually struggling through them might be helpful to people that are going through something similar. So, yeah, we'll talk about that a little today, but there's some current events. Let's go through them shortly. Kenosha police shoot man. Video of incident appears to show officer firing several shots into his back at close range. What happened? Oh, uh-oh. Uh-oh. Is this some more racial issues? Okay, let's see. Do I want to watch this video? Viewer discretion is advised. Oh. Oh, shit. What? Why?
Wow.
Okay, I'll describe it to you guys, because this is the first I am hearing about this or seeing this. Holy shit, I just watched a dude get shot point blank. So what was he doing? I don't get. Okay, holy shit. So they shot a man Sunday evening, setting off unrest in the city. Shooting victim has been identified as Jacob Blake, a black man by Wisconsin officials. He was in serious condition at Fred Durst Hospital. No, kidding. Fred Durst Hospital in Milwaukee as of early Monday morning. And the officers involved have been placed on administrative leave. Police had been called to a domestic incident in the area where the shooting later occurred. So I don't think this warranted a dude getting shot from literally 2 feet away by multiple officers, multiple shots just plugged right in. This is like GTA police. You know how in GTA, like, if you just look at the cops, they'll fucking shoot you? This is essentially what we're living in. That's fucked up. Man, Every single time something like this happens, it makes me hate police more and more. They've been nothing but shitty to me. I can't imagine what they're doing to other people of color. Like, wow. He didn't even have a weapon. So now, because a bunch of shithead cops had to fucking shoot a dude from 2 feet away, there's riots going on in Kenosha, and we're right back to where we started. Because apparently, police departments haven't learned from their mistakes. There's no sensitivity training, there's no reform going on as far as I can see. Not in that area, obviously. What happened to defund the police? Well, like, it seems like that's gonna come back. Literally, fuck cops. If there's any cops listening to this show, you can literally go turn it off and fuck yourself. Don't tell me there's any good cops. There's not. Not a single one. You go into that profession, you just want to push people around. It takes a certain type of person to become a police officer. It's a power move. And they want people not to riot. They're gonna be like, oh, look at these protesters. They're violent and they're extremists and like they're mad. They're mad because you guys, politicians, you aren't doing shit. You just sit there and argue, and then go home to your fucking mansions. And you eat fucking fine and you sleep great, right? Yeah, it says right here, he was unarmed. I think more and more every day I lose faith in our public officials. Honestly, from both sides. You guys are just full of shit, man. You don't do anything. You can't even come to an agreement about unemployment. So many people are going to starve, not going to be able to pay their rent. Great job, guys. Fantastic job. Then you have this fuckface, Bill de Blasio, who, yeah, I talk about every single episode, because still, we're not getting any new information on the opening of the schools. You're putting teacher lives at risk, Bill. You don't care about people. You don't care about people's safety. These are the educators of the youth of the city. And you're asking them to put their lives at risk? You, Mr. Mayor, can also go fuck yourself. You fat piece of shit. Okay, I just paused right there because I started getting really mad. I don't know, all politicians are just selfish. They're just in it for themselves at the end of the day, and they say they're about the people, but they're not. And they show that with their actions. Don't listen to what comes out of their mouth. Just look at what they do. Because even with Biden, they're making him out to be this like all-American personal guy. Like they even had the fucking elevator person in the White House be like, yeah, I talked to Joe Biden once and he was really nice to me. And he asked me how I was doing. And that means he should be president. That speaks to his character, that he was willing to talk to another human being. Wow, the bar is so low. And also, what does that say about his character? Nothing. It's just spinning this narrative to make this person's image look perfect when they're not going to do any of that shit. You think Biden is like, what do they say? You think Biden like remembers the elevator lady? No. He doesn't even remember what happened this morning. I hate to say it, and I'm saying this as somebody who's voting for him. He's still a politician. We can't forget that the bar is set so low that even if he wins, we have a lot of work to do. Even if Biden wins, we're still going to have to protest. The only difference is that we might actually be heard and not tear gassed. So, the only difference is that, like, they're both politicians, and one's willing to act like a politician, and the other doesn't know how to do that. So, pick your phony. Any phony. They all are. I sound like Holden Caulfield, but they're a bunch of fucking phonies. Politics is all just like a Broadway play. It's theater. And I'm getting so sick and tired of it that I might just stop talking about politics on this show. I don't know. I have to think about it. Because it is current events. It is what's going on in our world right now. And it's, everything depends on this election right now. But I'm just sick of these people, these stupid lawmakers just feeding us bullshit. Like, I'm gonna watch the RNC this week because I know that started up last night, and because I want to see what they do. I want to see how they try to make Trump look good in this time of trouble. Because I don't know. But it's going to be another 4 nights of lies. 4 nights of bullshit. As long as you guys know that going into it, that's all that matters. Because I don't know what they're going to say. They're going to try to do the Joe Biden route. They're going to be like, Donald Trump once asked the doorman to scrape gum off his shoe. And the doorman, he's like, he actually talked to me that one time and I scraped the gum off his shoe and he said, nice. And then walked away. Donald Trump, a man of the people. One time, Donald spat in my eye and I was just so grateful to have this job as his assistant that I just, I mashed the spit around in there because that's who Donald is. He just doesn't stop giving. Donald Trump. Here for the people. One time, Donald relentlessly harassed and stalked my wife for multiple days, and it was very uncomfortable. Donald Trump looks out for women. In other Donald Trump news, Kellyanne Conway has left the White House, and her husband George Conway is stepping away from the Lincoln Project, which were they, like a critic of Trump? So let's see what's going on. Sunday evening, she said she will leave her post at the end of the month, and George Conway is withdrawing from the Lincoln Project, both citing a need to focus on their family. That makes sense. They're on like complete opposite sides of the political world spectrum. Her whole job is lying and deflecting to defend Donald Trump every time he fucks something up. And he is a critic of Donald Trump. And they butt heads a lot. So I'm sure that's no bueno for their marriage. And this is good for them. I can only hope that when she leaves, she's like, oh, you guys want to hear about Trump? Oh, I'll tell you all about Trump. And we get like a book out of it, get an expose, get some more info. But I don't know. That's wishful thinking. Like what was that guy's name? Fucking yeah, like Sean Spicer. If you can remember that so many years ago. Um he he defended the president after leaving his post. But Anthony Scaramucci, who only lasted in his job for like what 10 days at most, he has been very critical. So I don't know, it depends on how which way she goes. If she left on good terms or if she's just done with all the bullshit. We'll see. We shall see. So that's interesting. That's some news, right? And the Republicans are really sad that she's gone. Apple accidentally leaks surprise new iPhone 12 release. Oh, what? Oh, nice. They're bringing back like the not the like the sharp edges as opposed to the rounded edges. So that I mean that's pretty cool. I like it. Damn. Oh, and it comes with a USB Type C charging block. That's nice. I have one of those just because of my iPad and I'm just so cool like that. And I got a USB-C lightning charger for my AirPods and I just use that for my phone now. It charges it so much faster. Life hack. Buy a whole iPad to get a a fast charger for your phone, and then buy a pair of AirPods to get the cable. Yeah. Sorry, I feel so off today. I think I feel a little off rhythm. Classes are starting in a couple days. I have to figure all that out. And we talked about a lot of stuff that I wanted to bring up on Saturday. But you know what? Whatever, right? Fuck it. I've got more stories. I've got more stuff to talk about. We were discussing mental health last episode. And I think that was good. I think that was progress and that was therapeutic for me. And I'm glad that I got those things out there because it probably explains a lot of my tweets and behavior. So, yeah. I've done a lot of stupid things in my life. I don't know where to start. Um oh man. So, yeah, college was a disaster, but we talked about the hospital. We talked about all the substances. What haven't we talked about from my stupid stories? Damn, one sec. Let me think. I'll pause this real quick. Man, I just think I'm so grateful that I got out of the situation that I was in, the funk I was in for so many years. And man, it's taken so long just to get to this point where I feel even comfortable having a podcast where I talk for an hour. I like a year ago, that would have been unthinkable to me. I was this scared little dude who just hid in his. I was social distancing before it was cool, before it was the thing to do. And the one thing that was putting myself out there, I wasn't even making any like music anymore. I considered myself retired from the public life, and I started streaming again on Mixer when that was still a thing. But people were so mean on there. They're like, oh, fucking Asians, and oh, you're a fucking loser, you suck, and it just didn't feel good. So I just went and like hid back in my turtle shell and didn't see the light for a while. And it wasn't until I started going to classes again. I went back to college and I started coming in contact and meeting new people, having to talk to professors, have intellectual conversations. turn my brain on a little more, put myself out there, ride the subway, which I was scared of doing for the longest time. And I think that putting myself out there, that exposure therapy that I had to do just to get to class, was helping build myself back up. Because there were times on the subway where people said racist, fucked up shit to me. Like that happens. But I just stood there. I was just like, okay, like I'm just gonna get home, whatever, and get off the train, go home, and I'm good. I'm good. So those experiences helped to make me more confident in my own voice, not just like how it sounds, but what I'm saying, because I never thought I had anything to add to any sort of conversation. Anytime that I would talk to people in a group, I'd just be interrupted, talked over all the time. I think that's why I have this show and it's just me, because I don't want to be interrupted. I think like most conversations, I just have a tendency to be interrupted, and that's been the case forever. So like finally having my voice heard without that being stopped is it just builds me more and more every time I make an episode, and it's a good one, because trust me, I know there've been like decent ones and like not good ones, because there are days where I feel off, and if I'm feeling off that day, I'll probably say it. Or yeah, I'll probably say it. I say like I don't know a lot in those times, and but I'm open about it, because I've suspended any ego that I would have had that would have caused me to be insecure when putting out this show or sitting on the subway, going out in public, and just I used to be afraid of people, just people in general. I hated going out. I hated going out to even like get dinner. It was scary. Yeah, you live in a city with millions of people and like the densest fucking population, and you're scared of seeing people. How's that gonna work, Alex? Oh, I don't know. But now we're all doing it, right? Some of my friends are like, when am I gonna see you? I'm like, I don't know. I'm waiting for the vaccine. But I was in a deep hole for the longest time. And I used substance to kill my brain. Literally kill my brain. I didn't want to have the thoughts I was having anymore. Because, and I think I realized this a lot when I did LSD with my friends when we were freshmen in college, and we were all together, and I was just having the worst trip with like the darkest things going on, just worrying about all of these insecurities and problems that I had in my life. And I was like curled up in a ball while my friends are all like giggling and like having a good time. And one of my friends is like, "Damn, dude, you must have some fucked up shit going on." And it wasn't until then that I realized there's something wrong with me. Like I'm not mentally okay. Why am I putting myself into all of these dangerous situations and not caring, or seemingly not caring? It's almost like I'm hoping to just either desensitize myself or hurt myself or whatever it is. When I was, when I was using, I wasn't using drugs that would pump me up, like Coke or Adderall or things like that. I was using things like Xanax that would completely knock me out. I didn't want to be awake. I didn't want to exist. So that was the closest thing to being alive, but not having to live. And that sounds so fucked up saying that out loud, but it was the truth. And I talk about it. If you listen to the earlier episodes, I talk about it like it's a joke. And I think that that's a mistake. Yeah, we all learn from our like our stupid stories. We all have funny perspectives on something dumb we did. But I did those dumb things out of a pain that I was feeling. I used to describe it to my counselor in college as the fire burning in my head because I was so mentally distraught that it literally was like a burning sensation in my brain. And imagine, no, don't imagine it, but I was living like that all day, every day. I couldn't sleep, I couldn't eat. I just existing sucked. It did. And drugs were my way of still being able to put myself out there but not have to be myself because I hated myself and I was so scared that other people would hate that version of me. I guess the real me. If I showed it, if I came out like that. And because I do see it as coming out in a way because I put on this persona in front of my friends and my peers at college for the longest time. I don't have it anymore. Like, I don't have the will to pretend anymore. I don't know if it's like when I moved to New York, I just stopped with the bullshitting. I cut off all the people that like truly don't matter and I don't matter to, and I kept the real ones around. Um, anyways, I would be able to navigate life but not have to but still be behind a mask and that got to me. It really got to me. And people were always like, "Wow, you really just don't give a fuck about anything, do you?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, yeah, whatever, man. I don't give a fuck about anything." Oh yeah, and talking in this monotone voice that I know it's monotone. It's depression. If we're being real, the reason I talk like I'm just one tone is because like I was desensitized through years of being raised shittily. And you just kind of stop caring about shit or stop caring about shit the right way. My therapist calls it dissociating. It's why I used to do nitrous a lot. Whippets, if anyone's done those, nitrous oxide, don't do it because all it's doing, and I didn't know this until later. I stopped once I realized all you're doing is suffocating your brain, and that's why you're getting high because you're suffocating. You're not getting enough oxygen there. That is the only reason you feel anything. So don't do whippets. Take it from someone who has many times. Don't do them. But I did all these things to get away from myself. And I don't know where it flipped because it was a recent change. It happened right before I started the podcast where I started believing in myself, I guess, and believing that I had something to contribute to society because I made this song, BFFs, and I put it out there, and I just showed it to a couple friends, and they were like, "Holy shit, this is the best thing you've ever made. You need to put this out there. People need to see it." They were showing it to people who were like, "Who is that, Drake?" Like, and and things like that, and I was like, "Holy shit!" Like I'm missing out on an opportunity to show people what I have to offer because I don't believe that I have anything to offer to them. And I had to do a lot of convincing to myself that I could put out this content for the internet to see. And the fear of getting ridiculed was so strong for so long And what was first, the podcast or the No Nut Conspiracy? I think, yeah, before the podcast was, I made this sketch. This was in 2019, like fall of 2019. I made this sketch just for no reason. I was hyped up on cold brew, and I make this, like, I had this idea that what if this conspiracy theorist, doctor, crazy psycho guy comes up with this idea that No Nut November is just an idea perpetuated by the government so that people don't like consummate or make babies in the month of November, so that 9 months later, when the new iPhones come out, they don't have this huge investment of a baby and they can spend their money on an iPhone so that the government can track them and listen in on them. That was the whole thing. It was this huge, like, just fucking absurd train of thought. But I saw the opportunity to put something funny out, and it was a huge flop. It was a complete flop. If you guys haven't seen this, look up the No Nut Conspiracy. You'll see me with shittily done bleached blonde hair because for some reason I thought that was cool. And I had that for a while. But I think like I was also kind of going through like a mini mental breakdown at the time. That's why I came up with that crazy no nut idea. It was like the last leg of me not believing in myself. And then all the comments were like, this is like more boring than watching golf. And like, why is this an ad? Because I paid this company to run promotion for me. I didn't realize that just meant Google Ads, which I could have ran on my own for cheaper. And yeah, like a lot of people saw it, but they didn't like it. They thought it was shit. And I understand where they're coming from. It's stupid. It's very 2008 YouTube, like a shitty camera, like shitty lighting, shitty mic, like bad acting. Just I I don't know why it's still up. I think it's just a piece of history now. Now. But it took me a good like 4 hours to make that video. Time well spent, right? But I did that. That was the first time I put myself out there. And yeah, the criticism was there, but it wasn't enough for me to be like, okay, I need to just hide back in my turtle shell again. It was more like, okay, maybe directing a film, a short film, is not my cup of tea. Like a fake documentary, not my thing. I should focus on the things that I've been known to do and that people think I'm good at for years. That's been the case, which is music and audio production and those types of things. And so I sat down, got caffeinated up, made some music, put it out under the name Lil Traumatized, and that was the beginning. And then I learned about samples. I don't have an acoustic guitar with me in this apartment. That's why like half the album is acoustic music and the other half isn't, because for half the album I had the acoustic guitar, and then for the other half I didn't, because the tuning knob broke off when it fell off my desk. I was leaning against my desk and it slipped and fell. And devastating. Absolutely devastating. And so I learned about samples and I learned more about audio production and Fruity Loop Studio, and I subscribed to Lander Samples, which they let you royalty free use shit like that. And I made just a bunch of songs during the pandemic, especially. I hunkered down. I was like, might as well just for now just make music It's something that I truly enjoy doing. I'm not doing it for clout like I was when I was in college and trying to like impress girls. I don't need to impress anyone anymore except me. That is who matters. And that was the first time in my life, I think, that I was actually like, I'm doing this for me. Because I didn't go to college for me. I went to college for my family so that they wouldn't fucking bitch at me forever. Like, oh, Alex, you didn't go to college. You need to study. That's how my grandparents sound. So just so you know, I'm Korean. I'm Korean, so that's fine. I feel like I have to say that because this is audio, but I did that for them. I didn't do that for me. I what like baseball. I did that because my dad made me. I didn't enjoy that. Same thing with golf. My whole life, every decision that I had made was either made by somebody else or made because of somebody else. And this was the first time in my life where I was like, you know what? No, I'm going to put music out there. I'm going to start a podcast because I think this would be good for me. Whether people listen to it or not, I enjoy doing this. And I was listening to a bunch of podcasts and I was like, you know what? I like what all these people are talking about, but I wish they would talk about this, this, and this. And I was thinking, you know what? Then why don't I just start a podcast? And I already had the short news as a show because I was on Anchor. So that was already on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and everything. So I sat down, literally like decided one day I'm going to start a podcast, sat down, plugged in my USB mic to my computer and just started talking. And that's how it started. This podcast started because of my recovery, which has been such a long, long fucking journey. Oh, this is heavy. I'm sorry. But I feel finally as though I have something to offer to the world. Whether it be a big thing or a little thing, it's something. I put out an album. Like 50,000 people have enjoyed it. I think, you know, for somebody who's just a broke college student with no manager, no record label, no nothing, just that's an accomplishment. That needs to be like I have to celebrate that for like a second because I haven't. I'm saying it out loud now, but this whole time, like I haven't taken a second to just appreciate that I've made an enjoyable work of art and to be proud of myself and be like, I did this for me. This is the first time I've done something for me. And it feels so, so good. And I think that's a great thing. And I think that people who are struggling mentally, I know what it's like when people are like, oh, like, what are you doing with your life? You can't do anything if you're not stable, if you're not in a stable environment or like in a good space mentally. How can you focus on anything? If you have aspirations, hopes, and dreams, those are all going to be dead if you're depressed and anxious and upset and distraught. That's not going to be your priority. You stop believing that you even deserve to be stable or happy or get what you want. And that's a really sad spot to be in, but I've been there. And I know it's hard to motivate yourself to just do something. It's not just go do something. It takes therapy, it takes a good support system, it takes like being able to look in the mirror and say, yes, I'm a work in progress, but I accept every bit of me, even my flaws, because they are what makes me. And I need to find a way to work with that and accept that this is who I am. I can't control it. All I can do is work on certain parts of myself to help me. And once you work on yourself, then you can help other people with their issues. You can be that support system for other people. And you can do whatever you believe like want to be doing, whether it be music or even like accounting or going to college. When I went back to college, it was around the same time that I started this podcast, or at the same time I started like making music in the fall. And it was because I wanted to go to college. It was not because my grandparents were saying, "Oh, you have to study, Alex," or my mom just screaming in my face, or anybody complaining to me about not going to college. It was because I knew what it was like when I went out and got a full-time job as an IT technician. I hated it. I hated that there was no room for growth and that I didn't have my degree, and I realized how important that was. So I went back to college, not for anyone else, but for me, because I knew it would help me. And I graduated. I got my associate's degree. Graduated high honors. Boom. Round of applause there. How about that? I made Dean's List every semester. 5 years ago, I was on the Dean's List, but the list of people that were like to watch out for because they're doing drugs on campus, I'm not that guy anymore. I've come a long way. And that is amazing. So if I can do it, if I can go from a dude who's scared to go outside and just so mentally unstable that he's unable to even talk to his friends or talk to anyone or tweet or put anything out there, if I can go from that to running a podcast, having my own record label, my own business, and putting an album out there, working on a second one, tweeting ridiculous, funny sometimes things, and getting into arguments with conservatools on Trump's Twitter. Like, I would not be doing that a year ago. I wouldn't. I'd be hiding in my bedroom, just like under a blanket, depressed, taking my sleeping pills and just like trying to sleep the day away. I don't take those anymore. I don't. I'm also, what, 3 year 2017, 18, 19, 20, 3 years clean from Xanax. Another round of applause right there. I haven't touched Xanax in 3 years. And that was my biggest problem in life. That could have killed me multiple times. I've been in some really dangerous situations because of that. And I don't wish that upon anyone. I think if you're a listener and you go off to college, I mean, you're not probably right now, you're probably doing it from home. But you can smoke weed, you can drink beer. I say be safe on the hard liquor. But when it comes to Xanax and Coke and things like that, it's not worth it, dude. It's really just not at all worth it. I'm telling you this as someone who has tried it all. You're only going to end up in a world of pain. It may feel good in that moment, but not when you're sick 2 weeks later because you tried to quit and you can't, and you have to take more Xanax because you'll have a seizure if you don't. So then you have to go to rehab and they have to give you this special pill. That's the only way that you can wean off of the drug safely without potentially seizing and dying from withdrawal. I don't think you want to be in that situation. You know who is in that situation? Me. It sucked. Oh my god, it was horrible. Just it like if you need help, you need help. But like get the help, right? Before you do anything like self-medicating, go get professional help, whether that means they prescribe you some medication that they think might help, like Lexapro or something. Yeah, like I take Zoloft, and the only complaint I have about it is it makes me sleepy and groggy, but that's why I take it at night, and then I'm good during the day. But you find the right med for you, you find the right therapist, boom, boom, double whammy. Then you won't necessarily feel the need to do these hard drugs to just dumb your life down so you don't feel anything anymore. Damn, these episodes have been so heavy. I'm sorry. Should we do something else? Yeah, we can do something else. Um, what's going on? Is there anything with Post Malone? Wait, sorry, why Post Malone? Oh, Post Malone's on my YouTube page. Sorry. With Jake Paul? No, nothing. Other than he deserves to be canceled? I feel like there was something that I wanted to talk about that I'm missing completely. Oh, yeah, the argument I got in with my dad yesterday. Oh my fucking god. Like, it's almost like he calls me right after he finishes watching Fox News, because it's like the time slot ends. It's like 8:45 or 9 o'clock. So like right around the end of the time slot, or the end of whatever Fox News show he's watching. Listen, I watch Fox News too on Sunday nights. The only reason, because I know he's gonna call me when he's like 2 glasses of wine in, and he's gonna complain to me about the libs and fucking how AOC is gonna ruin his life because he's an executive and she doesn't want capitalists or whatever. And it's like, dude, she's worried about like Jeff Bezos, not you, dude. You're holding yourself too high up on a pedestal there. She's worried about like the Zuckerbergs and the Bezoses and the Bill Gateses and all those people. Like, so there's that. But we got in an argument yesterday because he brings up how I can't talk about that because that's giving away someone's occupation. Well, someone I know that we're very close to, a lot of people we know actually in this city are teachers, and they're being they have to go back to school. So far, that's what it seems like it's going to be, and it's really pissing me off. And he knows that it bothers me. He knows that I take the virus very seriously. Every time he calls, like, when am I going to see you? And I'm like, dude, I don't know. When there's a fucking vaccine, how about it? What, so I'm going to come all the way there, an hour and a half away, by what, Uber? You're not picking me up. And I don't want to take your car, being in an enclosed space. I don't know where you've been. I don't know what the supermarket has. Like, you get what I'm saying? So we take an Uber where like so many people have been in those passenger seats. Uber drivers are testing positive left and right. And so we're supposed to take the Uber, sit 6 to 15 feet away from each other just to say hi, when we could be talking face to face over Zoom or FaceTime or any other way that's safer. But he's like, no, bullshit. We could make it work. We could make it work. Like, we gotta find a way to live in all of this, during all of this. And I'm like, yeah, I am finding a way to live during all of this by trying not to die during a pandemic. Again, not taking it seriously. And he listens to this podcast. So, yeah, I'm airing it out. I'm airing out the problems here a little bit. You wanna shit on AOC? You don't talk about Mia Esposa like that, dude. You don't. You fuck with a bull, you get the horns. He's saying, oh well, the teachers are essential workers, so they need to go back to work. They're educators. Where is it in the teacher handbook that, oh well, now when there's a national pandemic, you're expected to risk your lives because that's what you got a degree in, being a fucking soldier, right? You know what's crazy? I had a dream last night that I was a student at West Point, and that was the scariest dream that I ever had. And I like tried to leave, and they were like, if you desert, then that's punishable by death. I was like, no, but can I smoke weed? Absolutely not. This is the army. No. And it was terrible. But anyways, so he's like, oh, like the economy needs to start back up again. Like this is not okay. Like these people, essential workers need to go back to work. But they don't have proper protection. Oh, if you wear a mask, you should be fine. But they've proven that the masks don't always work. Coronavirus can enter through the eyes too, and it's an aerosol in the air. So if there's any openings in your mask, it's not a foolproof method. But he's like, oh no, like if you're wearing a mask, then the teacher should be fine. And I'm like, think about it. They're kids. They don't always follow rules. And he's like, oh well, they should follow the rules. And that's a problem. And I'm like, yeah, that is a problem, but that's the reality of the situation there, is that they're not always going to follow the rules. When do kids always follow the rules? And when they cry, you think they're going to like leave their mask on? No, absolutely not. And then I start explaining to him, also they need proper ventilation in these buildings, which they don't have. And he's like, bullshit, Alex. That's such bullshit. They don't need proper ventilation. That's such BS. And I was like, what do you mean? It travels through the air. It's an aerosol. Ventilation has like everything to do with this situation. And he's like, no, bullshit. I don't believe that. And I'm like, you don't believe science? And it just went on and on like that. And he's like, oh, you support AOC, so you want me to suffer. And I'm like, no, I don't. This is an executive here talking. You guys can look him up. He's a public figure. He's been on Bloomberg or CNN, not CNN, Bloomberg Business to talk about finance stuff. He's more famous he's more out there than me. So yeah, I can talk shit. I'm a critic. I'm a critic. Like he's literally calling though to pick a fight with his 24-year-old liberal son. Why? And then he does the same thing. He does the same thing to my grandparents, his parents. He calls them up and tries to pick a fight with them because they're like pro-union, hardcore Democrats, and he is like the opposite. So he fights with me, and then he fights with his parents. And like, why are you doing this? You know we don't agree with the bullshit that you're trying to pick fights about. So you're coming with guns a-blazing? It's fucking Sunday night. I'm trying to watch 90 Day Fiancé and have a decent night. Now you're stressing me out over your fucking extreme capitalistic, greedy political beliefs that have like that where wellness of the people, health of the people has like there's no regard for that. And there's no room for that in your brain. Or it's being compartmentalized like in the back of your head. Wow, the economy is like up here, up in the front. And like the wellness of the American people is like in the basement. It's like in the attic, locked away in a chest. Forgot the key for it, threw it out or something. You know, gonna be sold at the next garage sale, something like that. Fuck, man, it was nutty. It was nutty. Anyways, should we do a relationship advice and then I gotta call it a day? All right, let's do this. Before we start, I just wanna say a quick word to all the sweet, wonderful, generous, magnificent OnlyFans girls that are sending me pictures of their booty. But listen. I can't. I can't buy your pictures. That would be wrong. I'm engaged. That's not okay. Listen, if this were a different me, if you had the mentally unstable me that we just talked about like 5 years ago, then maybe. Probably. Yes. Definitely. Absolutely. Oh my God, like all of my paychecks would be going towards. No, stop. But like, it was a different time again. And no, like please, like if you want to talk about podcasts or anything that's not sexual, then yeah, I'm all ears. But please stop sending me pictures of your butts, because as nice as they may be, I should not be seeing that. That is my public service announcement. Now let's get into it. My 26 female husband's 28 male friend, 29 female, sent him a text saying, "Look at your other phone, winky face." He doesn't have another phone. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Basically what the title says. Yesterday, my husband fell asleep on the couch with his phone on his chest. As he turned over, the phone dropped. I went to pick it up to make sure he hadn't accidentally cracked the screen, and the phone lit up with a text from his friend Amber, which read, "Look at your other phone, winky face." There was also a second text which said, "Good night, XXX." I put the phone back down on the ground because I didn't want him to know I had seen it. When he woke up, he was looking frantically for his phone, and when I told him it fell, he looked relieved as soon as he picked it up. He started smiling when he replied to his messages. Oh no. When we went to bed, I sat up all night waiting to see if he would take out his mysterious second phone. But he just went to sleep straight away and never woke up again in the night. Is there a reasonable explanation for this? Did she accidentally text the wrong person? Do I confront my husband? Snoop? What the hell is going on? Too long didn't read. Husband's friend sent a suspicious text. Now I'm questioning if he has a second phone. Update. So I looked everywhere for a second phone, house and car, and I couldn't find anything anywhere. My husband was in the shower, so I checked his phone to make sure I saw the message correctly, and it was gone. I'm really confused. The people in the comments say check your AirDrop, check your Wi-Fi for any devices that you don't know, and also check Bluetooth devices just in case. That would be my advice to you, because if your husband's friend named Amber is texting him, "Winky face, check your second phone," who else would she be texting that to that has a reason to have a second phone? I mean, come on. It doesn't, like, I understand that you're in denial about this, but listen, like you just don't know where it is. That's the only thing. Like, I'm pretty positive on this that the dude has a second cell phone, because she sent him "Good night, XXX" after that. You don't just say that to friends. Like, I don't think my friends have ever said that to me. It's just uncomfortable. But I mean, it's fine, like, without the first text. check your second phone. That's a dead giveaway right there. Like, why would she text that? Like, he has the second phone for a reason, and she just gave it away. She fucked up. I mean, they both fucked up. And you gotta find this phone. Lady, you gotta find this fucking phone. And then you call him out on that shit. You know what? No. You find the text from Amber. You take a picture of it on your phone of his phone. So you're like, "Yeah, I saw this shit on your phone. You can't fucking deny it, bitch." And then he'll be like, "Oh, well, I don't have a second phone. It says right here you do. And she sent you 2 texts, not just one, so I know it's not an accident." Huh? What about that? What are you doing with Amber? What's she sending you? She have an OnlyFans? What's going on? So, I think you gotta do some more snooping. You deserve to know what's going on. Because that's very sketchy. Like, listen, I have a second cell number, but it's on my one phone. It's just a second line, just so, like, on Pinterest, I needed a business phone number to verify my business account, and I didn't want people just calling my personal number, so, yeah, that's the only reason. And again, like I said, that's on my phone. There's no reason to have a second cell number unless it's A, like an app on your phone, and B, you're using it for work. Or you got it for free. I got a free Obama phone last year. Then I stopped using it, so they stopped renewing it. Anyways, that about does it. I hope that lady finds that phone, because she deserves better than to be lied to like this. That sucks so much, and I'm so sorry. This has been an interesting episode. I guess another mental health episode for you guys. Thank you so much for listening. As always, happy Monday. Have a great week. And I will see you guys on Thursday. Peace.
It's really that time of year, and your team might finally do it. Or if you're a Rams fan, you might just want to book the trip now. This year, Super Bowl 56 is in Los Angeles at SoFi Stadium, February 13th. You can scour resellers to buy an overpriced ticket closer to the day, or you can lock in the Super Bowl experience of a lifetime now with our friends at On Location. True 50-yard line seats, only available with On Location. An invite to celebrate on the field with the champs. On Location. Yes, you want to craft a perfect confetti angel like I did? Go to the game with On Location. And it's not just about gameplay. From dinner with NFL legend Marcus Allen to pre-game parties featuring acoustic sets for Wyclef, the official hospitality partner of the NFL is offering the most exclusive ticket packages available. Want to know how? Visit onlocationexp.com/SP56 or search Super Bowl On Location. That's right. Search Super Bowl On Location. Make the trip of a lifetime. It's your shot. Take it.